Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're looking at the case of the couple Dan and Stephanie Menard, who disappeared on August 24th from their home in Olive Dell Ranch, which is a resort in San Bernardino County. A friend of theirs became worried when the two of them did not show up for the Sunday church service as per usual. Also, their dog Cuddles, which was a white Shih Tzu, is missing and still missing. The police was contacted by someone called Irene Enkrath, who was the person who contacted the police about the Menards, and she told the reporters that she saw their car, the Menards' car, sitting abandoned down the road from their home. She had a spare key to their house, and when she entered, she saw Stephanie's purse and both of the Menards' phones. She then called 911 and the hospitals in the area searching for her friends, which of course she did not find anything of. Now, next door to them lived a man called Michael Royce Sparks, who was 62, and a member of his family called the police and told them that he had called them, stating that he had murdered two people and that he was now going to take his own life next. Since their relative told the police that he would be armed and barricaded, they approached him very cautiously, and they found that he had made a concrete bunker under his mobile home, and I believe there's also even tunnels involved, but he was in this pit under his mobile home where he was threatening to end his own life. The gun he wanted to use for that misfired, and then followed a long standoff that ultimately led to Sparks surrendering after what they call a lengthy negotiation. The day after his arrest, firefighters and cadaver dogs found human remains under his home and spent several days searching the site. So the two people were found, the dog was never found. The search itself took several days because of the state of the property itself and its potential to collapse, and the need to remove debris with heavy equipment. Now, as far as I can see in the article that I'm looking at, there was no previous history between the Menards and Sparks, so I'm not sure why he had it out for these two. And I guess that is why they asked me to do a reading on this case. And we're going to do that using the Modern Witch Tarot, which is already on the table. And for any further questions, moving on to the Urban Tarot deck, which is this one. So as per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the deck. As soon as I have about a table full of cards, we're going to stop and take a look. So without much further ado, let's get started. Okay, let's see what we got here. So really all we want to know is what happened that inspired their neighbor to do such a terrible thing. We're starting off with the King of Wands in reverse. So these are actions that are not positive, very willful though, because the King of Wands does what he wants. Page of Swords tends to speak very quickly, usually before their turn. So maybe they are doing things and then explaining them away in a certain way, or perhaps they've said a few things that did not go down well, or somebody else said some things to them that did not go down well. Perhaps some throwaway comments were made, because we see here the Hanged Man in reverse. So perhaps instead of seeing things at face value, interactions, things that were being exchanged, there was something that kind of got stuck in their mind, like they could not look at things at face value. Like I said, like there were certain things that just kind of got stuck in his crop and could not get rid of that. The Empress in reverse, somebody not feeling very well taken care of, also not taking very good care of themselves. Their dress looks as though it is covered in lemons at the bottom, kind of like if life gives you lemons type of thing. How do you handle that? And in this case, perhaps they did not handle it well. Like perhaps they only saw the glass being half empty, like that type of thing. And things may have started to build up in their mind into much larger events than perhaps they really were. Seven of Cups, seeing no other solutions, and Ace of Wands in reverse. This may be the moment where they decided, for instance, to start putting all these tunnels and things under their mobile home, because I'm pretty sure that is also connected somehow. Like maybe not directly connected to the Menards, but more like connected to whatever inspired him to do such a thing in the first place. Like he may have had these types of interactions that I kind of described over here with multiple couples or people in the area, and then the Menards just happened to be the ones who ended up bearing the brunt. I don't know, but it looks as though there is a certain tendency to act out as though we have been wronged purposely, like that. Certain mindset that does not accept that things just happen sometimes, like coincidentally, not on purpose, and seeing deeper meaning in that, like maybe there's a certain level of paranoia or something involved. I don't know. But this Seven of Wands is definitely showing that they feel like people are coming for their position, but it's in reverse. So I think this is also pointing towards the paranoia in the sense that they feel like they're being challenged, but actually it's just in their own imagination, in their own mind, and they cannot see it any other way. Now we have a King of Pentacles and a Six of Pentacles, which is interesting because the Six of Pentacles is giving somebody some resources, charity work, being friendly, perhaps also borrowing a cup of sugar or something along those lines, something simple that the King of Pentacles looks upon as though it's really nothing big, like it's nothing, no skin over their nose, and they have a lot to share, they have a lot of wealth, and so they just feel like helping people around them. So maybe there was a point where perhaps the Menards helped them out with something, or I don't know, came in a positive light in some way, but that also triggered him a lot here, because we see here the Death card, and who do we see underneath the horse? That is a king. It looks very similar to this one. Different outfit for sure, but I do feel like that is a reference, like instead of looking at the positivity that we see beyond the gates over there with the sun in the background, we're looking at the worst possible outcome. Like maybe their gesture was so misconstrued that they decided that this is it, and now we have to take matters into our own hands. Ace of Swords in reverse. We're saying things that aren't right. We're thinking thoughts that aren't right. These thoughts may also be coming from a source which is not of this world. And I'm not saying like it's being influenced from other dimensions or anything like that, but maybe more in the sense of maybe like schizophrenia tends to have people thinking that certain things are speaking to them or something like that. Like it's not an actual inspiration from a higher realm type of thing, more from within themselves, but perhaps perceived as though this idea came from a location where they could not deny the idea that it was a good idea. We have the Six of Cups, kind of like reminiscing about the past, also looking at how this adult is giving this child this cup that appears to be filled with something wonderful, because there's like sparkles coming off of it, like everything's huge. This person looks amazing to this little person over there. I'm thinking it's a girl, but I'm not really sure. In any case, they are amazed by this gift that they're receiving from the adult, and this could almost be seen as then remembering the charity that they were given over here, and then the Menards being this person over here. So maybe this is the part where Sparks decided, you know what, I've done this terrible thing and look at how good they were. Now I'm going to have to step out, which is why he called his relative to say that he was now going to take himself out next. So this may be in a very quick overview what happened there. Let's see if we can get some more information about this, like what else may be going on. Urban Tarot deck tends to have good imagery for this type of thing. That's why I picked it. Whoops, there we go. All right, so there may be an imbalance of power here because it's kind of on its side. Both of them are. So the Four of Pentacles, normally balancing our resources, but in this case, perhaps there were too few resources or just was not able to balance them. They were not practically minded, and they may have tried to call out to people to try and get some type of help, because I'm looking at these tiny little horns over here. They almost look like the type of like air inlet things on ships. Air ducts or whatever you want to call those things, but it reminds me of blowing a horn, blowing a whistle to try and get some attention, but we're not getting this attention, so we're doing the best with what we can with what we have. Strength is also wavering, sometimes stronger than others. Some days are better than others. So this may be something that they have been struggling with for some time, and like I said, some days were better than others, and they were able to contain their selves, their thoughts, their emotions, their things, whatever it is that was going on with them. But this case, it did not work out. That is, the balance was tipped in the wrong direction in such a manner that we got this result. And the Two of Pentacles also kind of pointing in that direction, kind of a similar vibe to this, but also the Two of Pentacles tends to be a bit more of a trying to balance things within ourselves as well, not just the outward finances and resources, but also our mental resources, trying to balance them out as well, and also having a tough time with that. This is the first time that I've got the entire row on its side, so that's interesting. So I'm guessing he was struggling rather a lot, and it would not surprise me if instead of being sent to jail for murder, he might end up being sent to some type of psych ward or something. We have Ace of Pentacles. All right, so a new initiative, perhaps a windfall of some sort, maybe represented by this. Then we have the Game Master in reverse. This is the King of Swords in reverse. So now we are perhaps saying things that aren't quite true to try and get people to be on board with us. This may be the day itself. Like, he was already walking a tightrope here with his own mental and resource balancing, but then we have here a moment in time where I'm guessing he tried to approach the Menards and try to trick them perhaps with his words to get them to trust him, maybe to let him in or something along those lines. There was internal struggle here with the Five of Wands in reverse, and ultimately that came to the light because then we see the Lovers over here, or Two of Cups. Oh, the Lovers right there, okay. I just saw love here and thought, oh, that's the Lovers, but this is the Lovers right here, and this is Two of Cups. Similar energy, but much weaker. But in this case, it's also in reverse, which seems to be his internal struggles coming outward. And this is where the couple noticed that there were definitely bad things happening to them, and that he was not there on solely positive pretenses. Oh. Right, so Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Two of Wands upright. So now we are also trying to balance things for ourselves, and we are noticing a lack of success here. So perhaps they didn't even intend to take out the Menards. Maybe things just went really, really badly and it just got completely out of control, and they realize like the opportunity that they now missed because of all the good fortune that they brought him, perhaps, or good things that they've done for him. I'll shove this one over a little bit more because it's right on the edge here. It's Two of Wands, there he is. And now we're of two minds, like, do I try to hide this? Do I do something about it? May also be a point during the whole event where he did the thing to the Menards, where they perhaps tried to convince him to change his mind or something along those lines. Let's see what else we can get real quick, because I think we've got most of the story. All right, Knight of Swords and Again, speaking hurried words, very much in a hurry with the Knight of Swords. This could be Dan or Stephanie trying to convince him otherwise, to do other things. And the consideration is not packing out well. This kind of makes me wonder if whatever internal voices he may have had were hearing these words and turning a very, giving them a very negative spin, which of course would not have made them be judged properly or judged well with judgment in reverse, and ultimately did not serve them well. So, and this also may be the point where the Menards were like, oh, all this time that we tried to help them out, really, we couldn't have helped them out because now it's apparent that this is somebody who needs more than just people being friendly in order to get out of whatever rut they may have been in. And the Queen of Cups in reverse is quite manipulative. So this may also be pleading on their behalf. And ultimately, of course, that did not work out. Let's see if we can get a few cards, maybe like a final few cards. Oh, okay. All right, well, the reason why it didn't work out because he was not able to leave this mindset. Also noticing that I'm holding it like this. I'm guessing this card is now also involved. This is the Nine of Swords in reverse. So there is just a level of anxiety already present within the system that he is not able to shake. And that is why he's not able to get out of this mindset. So I'm guessing even though they tried to plead with him, they tried to perhaps try to be a little bit manipulative with their emotions to get some type of response that would let them go or get them out of the situation, it was for naught, because there was no way he was going to be able to get out of that train of thought once he was on it. I'm going to try to move this a little bit so I can get this one in shot a bit more. There we go, that's better. Second time that I have the entire stack in view on the end of the reading. So what I'm seeing here is that there is just a certain thing about Mr. Sparks mentally, probably, that was always there, that he struggled against over here. This row you can see he's been fighting these things for a long time. Ultimately, it went off balance too far, and then he himself went too far by taking out his neighbors, which he does regret, but also he has no other way out because he's just stuck in that mindset, also in a puddle of water, which is representing emotion. So perhaps he is within his own personal headspace, even though it's not good, it's what he knows, so that's where he's comfortable, so he cannot get out of there. So that is what I'm seeing for Dan and Stephanie Menard. I hope you found that interesting. Make sure to leave a comment and a like. That really helps the channel along. If you want to subscribe, that's even more appreciated. In any case, I hope to see you in another video. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.